Have you ever thought about what happens when the people who are pushed down finally fight back, only to become the exact same kind of bullies they overthrew? That's the absolutely chilling question at the heart of George Orwell's masterpiece, Animal Farm. It might be a short book, but man, its warning just echoes through history.
So the whole story really boils down to this one question. I mean, just imagine it for a second. You're overworked, you're starving, and you're at the total mercy of a master who couldn't care less about you. For the animals on Manor Farm, that's not just an idea, that's their daily life. But something's about to change. A little spark of rebellion is about to catch fire.
And that's where our story really kicks off. At first, it feels almost like a fairy tale. You've got this moment of pure, unfiltered hope, a successful rebellion. It all starts with a dream. This wise old pig, Old Major, he gets all the other animals together and paints this incredible picture of a world without humans, a world where animals are in charge of their own destiny, enjoying the rewards of their own work. And after he's gone, they do it. They actually do it. They run the farmer, Mr. Jones, right off his own land and rename it Animal Farm. And for a moment, just a brief, shining moment, it's a paradise.
Okay, so you've got your new society. What's next? You need some rules, right? A constitution. And that's exactly what they create. The 7 Commandments. They paint them in these big, bold letters on the side of the barn for everyone to see. These rules are meant to be the absolute, unshakable foundation of their new life. But as we're about to find out, even the clearest rules can be twisted.
Right, so this is where the fairy tale part of the story kind of ends. Because Animal Farm isn't really about talking animals. Orwell was showing us a real-world tragedy, and to get it, we've got to unlock the secret code.
And the key to the whole thing is this word, allegory. So what's an allegory? It's basically a story where everything, and I mean everything, the characters, what happens, all of it, is really a symbol for something else entirely, something bigger, from the real world.
So what is this story a symbol for? Well, it's a direct takedown of the Russian Revolution of 1917. See, Orwell wrote this book to show the world how a revolution that started with these amazing, noble goals, just like the animals had, could get twisted and corrupted and end up as a tyranny even worse than the one it got rid of.
Now, to really get what's going on, we need to meet the cast. So let's break down who's who in this barnyard drama and see who they really stand for.
And the parallels are just, wow, they're so sharp. You've got Napoleon, the pig who takes over. That's Joseph Stalin, no question. His rival, Snowball, the more idealistic and intellectual pig, that's Leon Trotsky. Then there's Squealer, the smooth-talking pig who can convince anyone of anything. He's the propaganda machine, the loyal, hard-working horse, boxer. He's the heart and soul of the working class, completely devoted and trusting. And those vicious dogs Napoleon raises in secret? Yeah, that's the secret police, the KGB.
Okay, so now that we know who the players are, let's watch how this whole beautiful dream falls apart, how paradise was truly and tragically lost.
You know, the scary part is, it doesn't happen all at once. It's a slow, calculated creep into tyranny. First, Napoleon gets rid of his rival, Snowball, using pure brute force. Then he brings in the terror. He starts staging these public executions where animals are forced to confess to made-up crimes. But the absolute lowest point, the ultimate betrayal, is what he does to Boxer. He sells the farm's most dedicated worker to a glue factory for his own personal gain. And with every step, the dream dies a little more, until the pigs are just like the humans, they hate it.
So you have to be asking, how did they get away with this stuff? Well, this is the terrifyingly clever part. They literally rewrote the law. Since most animals couldn't read, Squealer would just sneak out at night and add a couple words to the commandments. So no animal shall kill any other animal magically becomes no animal shall kill any other animal without cause. No animal shall sleep in a bed becomes with sheets. It's a chilling lesson in how easily language can be twisted to justify anything. Nothing, and I mean nothing, shows the pure, cold-hearted cruelty of the new regime more than what happens to Boxer. He literally works himself to the point of collapse for the farm. Napoleon promises to send him to a hospital to recover. But Benjamin, the old wise donkey who can actually read, he sees the writing on the side of the van that comes to take Boxer away. It's not an ambulance. It's a one-way trip to the horse slaughterer. The pigs sold their most loyal friend for a case of whiskey. It is just devastating.
And that's why this book is so much more than just a story about the Russian Revolution. It is a timeless warning. It's about the seductive pull of power and how easily our best ideals can be poisoned. And believe me, its message is as important today as it ever was. It's a reminder to always question authority.
So let's just quickly break down Orwell's big warnings. First, there's this tragic cycle of revolution, where the liberators just become the new tyrants. Then, there's the incredible power of propaganda. It's not just lies. It's a weapon designed to control how you think. Which leads to the next point, the danger of being ignorant. Orwell is practically shouting at us that if you don't know your own history, if you can't remember the original rules, you're a sitting duck for manipulation. And finally, the cult of personality. Be very, very wary of any leader who acts more like a god than a public servant.
And here it is, the perfect example of that propaganda in action. The other animals start to wonder, hey, how come you pigs get all the milk and apples? Squealer doesn't even bother arguing. He just says, we pigs are brain workers, and then he drops the ultimate fear bomb. Do you want Jones to come back? Boom. Argument over. It's a classic tactic. Justify, then terrify. The final scene of this book will stick with you forever. The ordinary animals are all huddled outside, peering through the farmhouse window. Inside, they see the pigs walking on two legs, drinking and playing cards with the human farmers. And the final chilling line tells us that the animals looked from pig to man and from man to pig, but it was impossible to say which was which. The revolution has come full circle. The new boss is identical to the old boss.
And so, Orwell leaves us with this huge, haunting question that is just as relevant today as it was back then. Because this isn't just a story about a farm, is it? It's a mirror. It's a call to be vigilant, to have the courage to ask tough questions, and to fight for the truth. Because the second we stop paying attention is the second the pigs start rewriting the rules.